Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dreaming Lodge, episode 3. So, 4 months ago, maybe five, maybe six, I can't fully remember now, I had Haley Trezise on episode 2 of the Dreaming Lodge. And here we are, move forward 6 months. Me and Laura were talking about doing more shows, and we've decided to do the Dreaming Lodge every Sunday for you now. So, the Dreaming Lodge is in dreaming mode. And it's funny that Haley was on the last episode all that time ago. So I'd firstly like to welcome the host we have today. We have Laura Massey.
Hi everyone. Great to be here.
And do you want to just introduce yourself a little bit, Laura? Just a little bit about yourself, what you do, what's
Yeah,
going on.
sure. Okay, so Dale and I, a lot of you probably know us from Andrew Bartsitz. We work in the Galactic Historian team, but individually, I work as a shamanic teacher for self-empowerment. Dale and I together also run combined healing therapies over here in the UK and a pain management clinic that we're setting up on the South Coast. We are staying together at the moment, so we've actually been doing a lot of shamanic work together and helping each other with our inner work. I know it's inner work, but we actually do call each other out, don't we, Dan, as well, which is really good. And this gathering today for me is like having a soul family reunion. And it's feeling that the energies of that it's feeling that more and more now, the energies that people are getting together in order to heal the dream weave. And I think this is why we wanted to bring out or carry on with the Dreaming Lodge on a Sunday, so that we can get like energies and like minds together and talk about how we can heal the dream weave and move forward to that fifth world of peace.
Outstanding. And Samantha Lohman, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Samantha Lohman. Thanks for having me. It's lovely to be with you all. Like you say, a true soul family. And again, I work with Andrew Bartsitz, and I met Dale and Laura doing combined therapy. And again, I've just been to visit them and working on myself more and helping me uncover and looking at more layers and more growth and more ways to look at myself. And then I like to express that through my artwork. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sam. Bob?
Hi, everybody. My name's Bob Anderson. I've known Laura and Dale I've known Laura for about a year. Known Dale for quite a few years. We've done the Reiki. I did the Reiki teachings. And then obviously progressed to the psychic surgery, obviously, and worked with Andrew Bartsitz doing the mentorship. Same with Sam. We've done retreats together. And yes, this is my third time on the show? But yeah, it's enjoying all the different expressions of everybody and the growth, as you say, Sam. Just working on the combined therapy. I've done the same as you, and just peeling the layers off ourselves. And I suppose the more inner work we do on ourselves, the more we're allowed to do more work on other people. And I think that's the key to it is that inner work. So yeah, nice to be here and looking forward to it.
Thank you, Bob. So that's all the special co-hosts, and now we have our guest, Haley Trezise. Hello.
Hello. It's really lovely to be here once again with you, Dale and Laura, and lovely to meet the other two too. And yeah, I've done quite a lot of recordings or podcasts or whatever you would call it with Dale for quite a few years, and done a few with Laura. Yeah, my name's Haley Trezise. I'm an artist and a shamanic practitioner and teacher, and so I offer shamanic healings, and it's a combination of everything I do is all kind of merged together. And I also work with the Sacred Trust as well. So, and there's lots of in between things. I run sweat lodges, and yeah, there's lots of things squeezed in the little cracks. But that's me in a very small package delivered to everybody.
So what has it been like? So the last time you were on, I believe, maybe near Christmas, after Christmas. What has it been like for you this year? Because for a lot of people, a lot of stuff has been unraveled and revealed, and there's been chaos within everything, but there's also been peace within everything. So what has it been like for you the last year and your journey and the changes of what you've gone through? What has it been like?
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Witnessing everything that's going on in the greater world, which of course we're connected to. There's threads to everything. Everything's alive and everything is related. That's certainly what I believe. And so there's no doubt whatsoever that we as individuals in our own little lives are affected by that. That just kind of for me just goes. But on reflection of my personal time over this last year or 6 months, I've actually been in a very good place, and it's very good to share that actually. And I think certainly over the last few months it's been very much about, because I offer a lot, that's kind of just the nature of my work in the healing and artwork and teaching, etc., etc. But over the last few months I've been very much looking inward. Inward has been spoken about a few times today, but in a really positive way, you know, like creating discipline and doing my morning simple rituals and being disciplined with that, and feeding my soul so I'm able to express it out, because everything starts here within me. And as was mentioned, it's like, yeah, once we can be strong and empty ourselves out and be whole, that's when we can begin to express outwards. So I just happen to find myself doing that, really. It's just doing a lot of I suppose upgrading, whatever word you want to use, but that's kind of a word that's just come to my mind. And just feeding my own soul. And just really throwing out gratitude for the smallest things, you know, just for the tiny things, and actually genuinely being appreciative of them. You know, just like waking up in the morning and, oh no, I'm just going to pause. I'm going to pause and I'm going to appreciate that sun that's flicking through my trees. You know, it's really, it is in those basic simple moments that you can create such gratitude, and for us to fill ourselves up with. So that's where I'm at, and I feel pretty good. I feel blessed actually at this moment.
So as you're saying those words, it's like this is the whole connection to this presence of the now. It's understanding ourselves. When we wake up, we have a potential or a choice, and we have a choice in every moment to allow ourselves to go into the not nourishing and feeding your soul, like you say, Hayley, or the place where we create future potentials which aren't for our highest growth, including our programs, our insecurities, our worries, our doubts, our lack, our anger. And this is the nature of the beast, isn't it? Because we're human. So we're unraveling all of this beast at the same time, being the beast at times, not being the beast, and so on. So I'm going to bring Laura in here to talk about how programs create times and allow us to not be in the present moment of the now. And what do these programs allow us to do in the future? Because it's I see it as chaos. As soon as you're in that mode where I feel like I'm angry, what I do is I go for a walk for 2 hours, and I will go and ground that anger off me, because I don't want to pollute anybody. The last thing I want to do is pollute my environment with anger. So it's a knowingness now from being in a relationship where there was frustration from some of the things what went on there. So instead of me getting angry and shouting, which I do get now and then, it does happen, I go off and I walk for hours and hours until I find myself again, because I feel like I've lost myself, and it's like, right, I need to walk this out of me. So Laura, do you want to expand onto that?
Yeah, because you've stepped out of the presence of now. So if we look at the presence of now, it's the only place to be. But yes, so many of us come out of that all the time. And I'm sure Hayley would agree that all her wonderful creativity, be it her clothes, her artwork, and so on, her expression comes from being in the presence of now. Because if you're out of the presence of now, then you're being influenced by other timelines, other parts of yourself. So sometimes we all have a worry, don't we? So I'll have a worry about something in the future. or something that's happened in the past. So immediately I'm giving thought to that worry. I'm taking myself there and out of my body to another timeline where either something has happened or could potentially happen. So it means I don't have the fullness of my I am self behind my heart now, in driving the wheel of our heart, not fully grounded here now. There's pieces and parts of me, maybe worried about money in the future, about something I've said to somebody in the past. That's not going to find the resolution being out either forward or backward. The only place for resolution for that, to find remedy and resolve for anything that is concerning, is in the presence of now. So we all round here now, us 5 here, all have little concerns and worries and things like that. That does happen. But if we just take this moment of now and ground ourselves in it, there is nothing, is there, that is of concern. We're having a great conversation. We're in the now. We're sharing our energies together. We're creating this beautiful algorithm of sharing and healing. So all the time we take ourselves out, then we're not having the fullest access to the fullness of ourselves. So then the program aspect is, like anybody else, I do get driven by programs, and I have to watch very carefully, and I'm still working on them, because they will overtake my life sometimes. And we all know this is due to, it's either childhood trauma or early conditioning, something that's happened to us in life, and the programs start to get a greater hold than your I am presence. So in the shamanic work I do, a big thing about it is bringing all of your I am self grounded into the moment of now and being sovereign. So this sovereignty means that you yourself, your I am presence is running you, not the programs. And it's doing the inner work and doing the journaling, as we all know, which helps you call out those programs. And it's continual work, isn't it? You don't just do it once, because you might get rid of one program like a lack consciousness or lack of money and think you've dealt with it, and it will find a back door in at some stage, or another program will highlight itself. So it is a continual process. It's not something that's done overnight, and that is part of the shaman's journey. And from this, we have shaman's deaths as well, from which is another thing. But dealing with those programs is a constant vigilance.
Beautiful. And anybody else? Sam, do you want to come in here and share? I know you've done a lot of inner work, Bob. Your thoughts as well, guys. I know you've done a lot of inner work on yourself. What does present now moment mean to you? And do you want to talk about programs and what your understanding and experience with those, and how they take you off chart to where your roadmap's meant to be going?
Do you want to go, Sam, or shall I?
You go, Bob. All
right, yes. So obviously it's about, with programs, obviously we have these projections from people. We have these programs that's inside us. I would say it's having the backpack of tools to actually deal with these programs from the traumas, from, as you say, people imprinting on us from the past. And I would say my best tool I have is breath work, because what I always say is, in the present moment, if you breathe, just close your eyes and breathe. You're not doing anything else but breathing. You're in the present moment. You're not thinking in the future about and worrying about money from the past, about something you've said and that's coming back to bite you. Breathing in that flow state of the present. So breath work is one of my main things. And at the moment, me personally, I am being in like future potentials, which I'm going through, and it's like a bit of I'm getting like panicky. I'm getting these certain things, and all Spirit's telling me to do is just stay in the present, stay grounded, do some breath work. And every time I do that breath work, I get back in my body. I feel I'm on the right path again. So it's just having these lessons or these teachings which we've learned in the past, just to to bring us on, to stay grounded, to stay present. And yes, I've got a lot of things coming on in my near future, which I'm excited about. I know it's good for me. And there's also a shaman's death, which I'm working on, a big death of the self. And it is a big thing for me. But the more I fuel it, the more I'm going into my futures. So I need to just process it slowly, work on myself as much as I can, and see these things coming in. And like at the moment, I'm working on self-doubt. There's loads of self-doubt, and it's connected into my nervous system. And I've been working on this, going quite deep and clearing. And then obviously, like Dale talks about totems coming in. I've got a parrot that's coming at the minute, a beautiful parrot when I've went into a meditation, and it's like showing me, show your true colors. And obviously, just like it's the fact is the parrot showing me that whatever you think is going to happen, it's not. Just trust that spirit is guiding you. And obviously, yes, always these little spirit animals coming in are there for teachings. And now I see them more than I did a year ago, 2 years ago. It's like, just follow the path, follow the process, just keep in the present moment. So yeah, I've had a lot going on at the minute, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. And obviously doing that in the work is keeping me grounded. So yes, that's me.
And thank you, Bob. Thank you, man. Sam, same question for you.
Well, like I said, I just spent quite a bit of time with Laura and Dale the last 2 days, and I've had quite a lot go on in my life. The shaman's death, doing the inner work, the subtleties, even as a child of with parents and things, of giving your energies away or allowing that space and always seeing the goodness and the beauty in everybody. But you really need to go inwardly and not allow that into your own environment, and make sure it's clear. And I had a beautiful teaching this morning from the Rose, and I was just reading through some of the things that I'd written. And it was looking at yourself as the internal rose, each layer opening the present of the teachings in the now. And as a spirit, you have a vast knowingness of the inner work and the endeavor, but always keeping the sweet smell of the rose and the scent around you, because you're love. Each person walks into your life as a teacher and a teacher spirit. And if you take that method, then everything is done in love and joy, because there is no density with that. It's a teaching. And be aware that you're part of a collective of a rose, so you're never alone on the journey. Each petal must fall with the wind and let going, in the knowingness that the whole bud is awaiting to unfold with the most beautiful aroma that protects me and holds me and has gifts of the future. I work on each layer myself, unpacking the reality in the joyful, playful way of the now.
Wow.
Cool.
Incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, that was really cool. So now we're going to, it's not flipping the frequency because we're not talking about in a certain way, but I want to talk about chaos, and I want to go around and talk about chaos to people, because chaos is another thing which takes us out of the now moment. So Hayley, a question for you. So do you want to talk about what chaos means to you, and how to not allow chaos to affect you? How can you clear chaos from the spirit, the mind, the self? Or let's talk about chaos and how it interacts with that.
Well, the first thing that's just come to my mind when you asked me that is, like, for me, because my body is quite tells my story, or it makes me understand, is my deepest connection to spirit, let's say.
Yes.
And when I'm in, like, this is just my personal experiences. I think it would be different for every person wherever they are in their body. But when I'm in my head and I'm I'm locked into thoughts, and I'm here, there, and everywhere, and I'm jumping all over the place, I am in chaos, and I cannot. And I'm literally just here. I'm not below. I cannot get any structure. I'm in one place and then the other, and then because I'm in my head, none of it's making sense. And then therefore, of course, the little environment around me is chaos. I've experienced being out in the world, or just out in a public space, and then things start to happen as well because the energy I'm feeling is chaotic. So that reverberates around me, or I'm noticing it more, perhaps, or, and without doubt it creates stress. And I am not present. I'm just not present when I'm in chaos. But the thing that I've learnt in my body, and I think this will be different for everybody, and I actually learnt this from doing equine therapy. And when I worked in my head, the horse showed me very clearly. It basically walked all over me. This is I'm talking about a long time ago. And then when I stepped to my place of power, which for me is my heart, that's where I'm able to be centered, to be present, to be here and now, and completely away from chaos. And so that was a really good learning for me. It's like, okay, pause. Where am I? Like what we've talked about here, breath work, whatever works for us. It's like physically taking that moment for ourselves. Otherwise, it won't happen. I have to make that decision. Otherwise, I'll continue. And just pause and meditate, or go for a walk, or pick up my drum and go for a little drum journey, or whatever it is. That's, again, it's absolutely true. Like what you said, Laura, it so resonates with me. Being in the moment, being sovereign, being here. That's where it's at. It's so simple.
So just a quick one, Hayley. Are you able to get closer to your mic? Because there's a slight distortion going on.
Okay, yeah, sure.
It's like you're fading in and out a little bit. Go ahead.
Maybe I am fading.
You're going forward and backwards in time now.
Yeah, exactly.
Chaos with your microphone.
Yeah. Is that better?
Yes, perfect.
Yes,
okay, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
I think I came to a pause anyway from what I was saying, but yeah, for me, it's chaos is when I'm in my head, and I think it's really important. It's a good thing to do like a body check, like, oh, where am if you're in chaos, what's causing it? Like pause, step back, and observe. Like, why am I in chaos? Where am I in chaos in my body? Where am I in my body? And then you have the choice to change that. Then you can switch it. Like, well, where's my power place? Where's just stepping away from it. And it's all with us. We have to do the work. We can't just expect someone just to wave a magical wand and fix it for us.
So with your practice, Hayley, so what are some of the ways you can purge this energy out of you? Because when you're dealing with chaos, it's like you're attracting chaos, and sometimes things can get into your field. What are some of the tools and techniques you can give as advice for people who need to start purifying the body? Because that's one of the most important things on this journey, regularly understanding who thyself is by purifying yourself regularly. So what are some of the tips and recommendations you can give there?
Well, I think like one of my biggest healers is nature. So going for a walk, even if you're in a city, you don't have to be living in the countryside. I'm blessed to be living in the countryside, so I've got it on my doorstep. But you don't have to. You can just walk down a street that has a tree, and just pause and acknowledge that energy, knowing it's alive, knowing that it's unconditional. It can offer you love. It can offer you peace if you ask for it, and connecting to that. But I also think just in the walking process, it's like the wind is blowing through me and around me and allows everything to wash away. I mean, that's one thing. The other thing, I mean, on a very practical note, is yoga. I cold water tank. That brings me away from chaos and in the present moment. and just exercise as well. I mean, these are very practical things. This is kind of like stepping away from the spiritual side of things. But for me, it really works, that. And then the whole abundant of other things, which is meditation, journeying, etc. But accessible things are walking and sitting and meditating, if you'd rather do that, movement, exercise, cold water showers. And I think
getting the balance right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's like you're right there, Hayley. It's just like getting the balance right, isn't it? About the physical and the non-physical.
Yeah.
So obviously I play table tennis, so that's like a good sport. It gives me exercise, walking, swimming, and obviously mixing it up with the meditation and having that total balance with both wells. So that's the key in it, really, just to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really important to acknowledge the sovereign and what I, meaning everybody, what you feel that is good for you. I think we have a tendency as a society to follow I've got to follow that. I've got to do that because that person's doing that. I've got to sit down and meditate because that person's told me to do that. And that's everybody else around here's doing that. I've got to do yoga. But actually, no, it's actually taking your own strength and sovereignty and saying, that doesn't really work for me, actually. But what does? So maybe it is playing table tennis. Maybe it is going for a little jog. Maybe it is laying on the grass outside. So it's finding your unique way that works for you and really honoring that, because what that does then, that you're honoring your needs and it brings you into the moment. That's it.
Your signature. You're connecting to your signature, aren't you? That's what it is. It's your little. Yes. Everyone's different.
The thing about chaos, also, chaos is formless, isn't it? So in some ways, having that energy, you can use that to co-create something that you want to co-create. Because in some ways, we need chaos to create change. It's like in some ways, you can't create change without there being a bit of things stirred up, energy stirred up, things making change. So in some ways, we need to use or have that chaotic energy. And then from there, we can co-create something else that is more stable for what we need in the moment of now. So it's not that I know there is a lot of chaos in the world. I understand that. And I think if you're on some sort of spiritual or shamanic path, you can learn to create a stable path, as we all try to do, within the chaos of the world. But the chaos is also needed, is what I'm saying. It's all part of this grander evolution of the earth, of ourselves, and so on. It's needed to create change and to provide a sort of an energy boost, if you like, because it's stirring things up, isn't it, chaos? And it's also pointing us towards where we need to change, where we need to have greater growth, how we can contribute to the grander evolution of things. So I think it's, although it can be sort of irritating and discombobulating and, you know, parts of yourself go all over the place, it also gives us a chance to learn to pull ourselves back, do the sovereignty work we were talking about, doing the I am presence, and shows us how important it is to be in the presence of now, to be grounded. Otherwise, you're just going to end up being chaotic and, as Hayley said, living from your mind. So it's a reminder almost to have that mind-heart connection and to take that heart wisdom as well. And that, because obviously that's the earth connection wisdom too, to keep ourselves grounded and how to navigate those chaotic energies for our growth.
Yeah, all within, I see it like all within flow. So when you're working on yourself, you know, like Hayley was explaining, the basics is with the body, because the body's experiencing everything and can harbor that. But also once you allow that to flow through you. And when you're doing your internal work, your body changes. The way that you walk, then you'll notice the subtlety of the difference of each step within your body, how loose it feels. Like, just literally experiment with your body, like, and use that as a journal practice. On if you went for a walk one day and you feel this chaos around you, was it in your left shoulder? Was it in your neck? Was it in your foot? Was it in your hands? And then that week, even if it's just a week of each day going for a walk at the same time as that discipline, and keep telling the body that you want to let this go, you want this movement, you want this flow. We are all about that, and they're all teachers. And then watching how each step's different, and that can be really beautiful. Just watching how your body goes into motions and moves.
Outstanding. And that's it, is allowing and realizing the feeling of it's like water is endless, water has no beginning and end. And I remember hearing that on Avatar 2, and I started crying when I heard some of the things they were saying, because there was so much wisdom in what they were saying about water has no start, water has no beginning. And it's just the constant flow of water flowing through us and allowing us to understand we are water, we are the universe, we are the rainbow bridge. And whatever's in our field we have to have awareness of who we are. We have to have balance. We have to have grounding skills. We have to put effort into ourselves, because if we don't put any effort and don't learn the grounding skills, chaos takes over our environment and becomes toxic. It becomes harmful. So there's so many different eyes looking at this perspective of chaos. Like Laura had a perspective, Haley, Bob, Sam. And it's just interesting. There's so many unique perspectives of it from different eyes. And for me personally, it's all about prayer and using the rainbow bridge. So this is a technique which can help a lot of people, which has helped me a lot, is when you do get angry, when you do feel charge and polarity, call to the rainbow bridge to come through your body and start bringing rainbow energy and say out loud, I'm transmuting this rage and anger into creation, rainbows, inspiration, dreams, feeling of who I am. And it helps me all the time. It literally, I feel like I've fully charged again, and all of this dense energy, even though there's probably some there, I just feel like I'm brought back into the present, because the way of the rainbow, the hub of interconnectivity, the present moment, the now, is being in the rainbow bridge. It's about being in, like Haley says at the start, we have everything within inside ourselves. We are, and like Andrew says, we have everything within, every potential, every animal, every creation, even the architect, the music, the songs, the prayer, everything is within us. And we always look externally for people to follow, like Haley says, not following them, following your own way, hearing and listening to people without disrespecting them, honoring them, not judging them. There's so many unique perspectives here, and what an interesting show it's turning out to be. I love when these happen. It just unfolds when there's no plan. Well, there is a plan. We know what we're talking about, but I'm seeing everyone's genius come out here, everyone allowing us to go and understand what we're talking about. So yeah, cool stuff, gang. Cool it's stuff, like, Bear.
Yeah, I'm just quicking on the chaos. I mean, I nearly lost my shit the other day. Just this fan which I've got, my works fan, it's just taking over my life, as Dale and Andrew know, Dale and Laura know. It's like, but the thing is, I nearly lost it, but I didn't. And it's like I took praising, not losing my peace. And it's like, I messaged you, didn't I, Dale? And I was like, you said go for a walk. It's great. That's exactly it here. Go for a walk, clear your mind. I mean, last year I probably would have lost it. And it was like, I take praising, reflecting that energy out, and the unseen world and all the stuff from this person. I just absolutely just took it away from me and let them deal with it. Brought my own like inner peace in again, grounded myself. And these are all the techniques we can use in our shamanic practice, let's call it that, because that's what a shaman is. It's working on yourself and seeing all these unseen tools we've got to work on when you're getting angry, and it's like, yeah, go for a walk, go for a swim, do that meditation, do that thing, go in the garden, sit in the garden, just quiet time. It's all these positive things that come in, which undermine the negative stuff which is there, which is there to test us, and that's it. And this was a good thing for me the other day. Everything got to me. And you said it, Dale. I was on my period. I had a period there. It was like Bob's on his period.
We all have him. Even I do. My menstrual cycle.
We all have our menstrual cycle, don't we? Bob's on his period. And it's like I messaged you yesterday. Think I'm coming off my period now. I'm just having. And it's right. It's like you get out, you come out of it, but maybe like last year or even the year before, it might took me a week to come from that. I'd still be niggling, and these people around me would have still bothered me. But now I've released it and let it go by bringing in the Rainbow Bridge and bringing whatever technique you want to bring in. And that's the beauty of, as you say, stepping into our powers and seeing our genius. And that's it from our mentors and from our people, and doing it ourselves and finding our own little signature of how to work with that stuff. So, yeah, the chaos is always there. It's just how we deal with it.
So yeah, that's it. And all of this aligns to respect and friendship. And I want to talk just a few minutes about friendship and respect, because one of the most important things here is having people around you can trust, who value you, who don't bring you down, who want you to succeed, who want to raise you, who want to see you in success. And that was the biggest shaman's death for me, was allowing and disconnecting from all of these people who created false future timelines, which brought me out of the now, which didn't allow me to actually go into the healing way, the dreaming dance, and actually be in the present moment. So I had to let go of all of these. I called them the demons, or whatever you want to call them. It's just a bit of fun. I'm trying to make a bit of fun, lightheartedness out of it. But I had to take them away, and I had to say, no longer you are poisoning and polluting my environment anymore, because this is the sacred way. This is the sacred path. And we're bringing each other together. Like Laura said, the soul family reunion. It's allowing people to come in, and I want all of you to succeed. Like when you all succeed and do well, it makes my heart sing. And I'm like, yes, you're doing it. You're doing it. We need people like that in our lives who actually want us to grow, not the bitter people. And we all have the family dramas and karmas of the family members who don't agree with what we do, and so on and so forth. But so connecting to this, I want to talk about passion. So Hayley, because passion's an interesting thing, because passion can be a good thing, but sometimes it can be a thing which puts you out of the now, and you can go gallivanting off to these realities which aren't there. And it's something I've experienced as well. So what's your understanding with passion, Hayley, and the moment of the now and so
on? Well, I think passion's essential. And like passion for me is almost the fuel for me to create. And I create, for me, is everything actually in my world. And so, and you kind of, if passion is passion is fueled, then you're able, it's like that, that ability to step forward. I don't know if anyone else has anything to add to that, because I can't in this moment expand.
Yeah, Laura, do you want to come in here? Because I think we talked about this on the show with Andrew, didn't we? Where we talked about the positive of passion and how important passion was, but sometimes passion can lead us into overdoing it, and then we go off. And so it's not all the time. There's a passion and being in passion, but times where I'll overdo it and I'll have too much passion, and it will put me on the road where I'm not going. So it's like how you can allow it to be in this symbionce of balance within. Passion is fueling you, but at times passion, if there's too much of it, you can become a zealot to your own cause and so on. Laura, do you want to expand on what we talked about with Andrew?
Yeah, so I think that the passion, yes, is like the bedrock providing you with that inspiration, which I think is what Hayley's saying as well. Absolutely, that deep, you have a deep emotional connection to want to do something, achieve something, be creative is usually how I see it. But I think if you just keep what you're saying, Dale, I think is if you just keep on with the passion, but ignoring all the other mix of things, energies around, and become zealot in anything, it's not serving you, is it? And any form of zealotry really is not serving you, unless it's a teacher. And it's a teacher, isn't it, actually? So it's always going to be serving you. The question is, you know, do you learn from that when you go zealot, or do you keep doing it until you learn from it? So I don't remember the conversation about passion with Andrew, but I think you need passion to get that inspiration, to drive you forward, to do the things you want to do in life, to do your spiritual path. But anything taken to the nth degree is going to be zealotry.
So I feel like it's a way I've described it, and what I'm trying to explore here is sometimes within my reality, my passion would lead me somewhere where I'm ignoring the groundedness of having to do work or doing this, doing that. And it's like taking me down routes where the sacred fool will come in and saying, you've been fooled here, you've been putting too much time in here. But like Andrew has come and said, you need to focus on the other stuff. You're in passion. You're so passionate about everything. You've lost your 3D self because of the reality of, you know, doing the marketing, doing this. So passion sometimes can lead you down the trail. I've just said it in the wrong way, I think, there. So for me, that was what I was seeing. And Andrew always used to pull me up on it. He goes, you're too passionate about everything at all times. So I had to come back to myself, ground myself. I need to do emails. I need to do that. And I'm like, I don't want to do. All I want to be is this passionate person doing all of this stuff, creating all of that stuff. So that's been a huge challenge for me. And like, I remember you've talked about the sacred fool, Hayley, haven't you, a lot in the past? And that's what I've been dealing with a lot, where I've been fooling myself, doing things I shouldn't be doing. Not I shouldn't be doing, but I've investing my time in things I shouldn't, when I should be investing in this and so on. So do you want to talk about the sacred fool a bit, Hayley? Because that just came in this. Yeah.
As they've popped up somewhere, obviously interfering this conversation. They're like, yeah, me. So I work with the sacred fools a lot, and I think they're magical beings, spirit beings, and they can teach us a lot. And I feel like a lot of this conversation is to do with the light side and the dark side, and I think that's life, the yin and the yang, whatever we want to label it as, because without one of them, well, it'd be completely disbalanced. And I absolutely believe that both are on the table. And you know, the shadow work, we have to walk through the shadow work to get to the other side, and also, you know, the other side, you know, so they're both of them are great teachers. In regards to the fool, I mean, the fool kind of really pushes boundaries, and for me, they kind of knock on your truth door, and they really show you, and they really present to you the truth, even if you do not want to hear it, but in a compassionate way. So therefore, of course, we have to look at it, or we can choose to look at that and then go, okay, how can I move through this then? How can I, you know, step forward? Are you having problems hearing me, or is it okay?
No, we're just listening to you. That's all. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, they're tricksters. They turn everything upside down, and they show the things also that are beneath the reason that you think it is. Like, okay, this is what you think it is. Well, this is the truth of what it is actually. And then it's just like, oh wow, okay, you just told me. And they're very direct. That's my experience with working with them quite a lot.
Wow, thank you, Hayley. Incredible. Yeah. So do you want to talk about what I'm showing now? Because what you sent me this morning, and I've seen these on your social media. Do you want to explain and talk to the listeners about these photos?
If I could see them, I would.
Can you not see them? Can anybody else see them?
I can see them.
Yeah, I can see them.
That's very, very strange that you can't see them. The sacred fool is full. What we've got up at the moment is,
they are.
Yeah. So what do you think they are?
Are they the
what we're talking about?
Yes.
So I'm just going through them.
Okay, so this is, well, it's a shame because I can't see what you're going through. But basically, what I've done. Okay, there we go. So I've created a sacred space in the woods in Ipston in South Oxfordshire, and it's basically these four heads are all in a circle and with a seat in the middle, and the purpose of them is for you to sit, for people to visit, and there's a trail that's created, so you walk down the trail, there's a gateway, an entrance, which is a threshold, so you're stepping through, and then you go walk down, and then you're in this kind of safe little place. And the purpose of it is so people can connect, so they can connect to nature, they can connect to themselves, they can, a place of belonging, a place of confession, a place of asking, you know. So, and I'm also going to have, so it's an immersive sculptural experience, and I'm going to have recordings linked to each one, and also more recordings on my website of like guided journeys and music, maybe some poems, so people can actually listen to them whilst they're face to face. And it's a healing art project, and I'm, you know, some of the things I'm not going to, you know, the safe word maybe would be well-being, but of course, me being me, it's much deeper than that. And yeah, so it's been a very long project I've been working on, and I've had loads of feedback from it, and I feel it's a birthing place for more of these sacred sites, because for me it's a sacred site, and it's a birthing place for it to be placed in other places in the country and globally. I just know it is. That wasn't my intention at the beginning, but the power of it, I've done everything through ritual. I took some women up there, and we sung to the land to you know, are we welcome? Absolutely. It is the woodland itself. It's an ancient woodland, is absolutely stunning. So that alone is worth a visit. But then you'll be able to go in and have this moment of peace, and it's, you know, having a moment of the now. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot so this is we're talking about passion. This is one of my passions.
Yeah,
there you go. And passion is a beautiful thing.
yeah.
They're amazing, Hayley.
Yeah.
Just looking at each image, they're so incredible. Just looking at each face, automatically I got a feeling of the parts of myself to look at, even like from an internal work, but also from a happy, joyful state, and how the eyes and the features that you've got around them in the face, each one you can like really feel in your heart, and the different expressions and the teacher spirit within there.
Amazing.
Well, anybody else? Laura, what do you get out when you're seeing it?
Yeah, just what Sam said about the different expressions and the different mannerisms of each face. So yeah, obviously each one will tell a different teaching, won't they? And it's obviously it'd be a nice place to meditate, spiritual energies, good place to reflection, introspection. Be nice just to sit quietly and listen to the surroundings, and just get the feeling and the energies around, and see what it's all about. I just got a nice feeling when I just saw the little walkway with all the twigs and stuff. That was quite sacred. Let's say it was quite sacred just to see that. So yeah, I got a nice feeling. And I like the different faces, as you say. Each one tells a little story, and depending on the layers, what you want to unpeel from it depends on what you'll see in each face. So yeah, good.
Laura?
Yeah, absolutely love it, Hayley. And I can see it's a work of passion, as you say. It's like so inspiring, right from the woodland setting, everything that you pick up, all the energy from that photo is just like, wow, I want to be there. I want to go. I want to walk through that sacred doorway and down that sacred path, and then see these aspects of myself, and they would apply to whatever is current for us at the moment. Because I was thinking, well, you could have a lot of these heads, but probably 4 heads like the 4 directions is enough to deal with for the moment, because there's so much work you could do. Just like there's so much work you could do in each direction, there's so much work you could do just sat in that space with the four different aspects around you, and a reminder of the many faces we have, you know, faces we portray to the world compared to our inner self, and projections from others. Oh, there's so many, aren't there? But the way you've captured it in that sacred space is phenomenal. I'd love that wherever we end up setting up, because ultimately I think both well, not just Dale, Bob and Sam as well, and others we work with, are looking for like a retreat space we could call our own. Then I think we'd be calling on you and saying, can you come and bring your lovely sacred falls with you, and we could create that space, because it's more of this is needed. You imagine if every city had parks like this with a sacred space.
Yeah,
absolutely. But it's the people being ready for that level of wisdom, isn't it? And of course, so many people are on all these different paths, but just to have something like that, I know they do create quiet spaces, but just to start bringing more of these ancient teachings. That's what we're here for, isn't it? We're bringing forward these ancient teachings that have been lost. And that's the way you're doing it is phenomenal. I love it.
So it looks like it reminds me of the inner visionary process. So as I'm looking at all the faces aren't what I'm meant to be looking at. It's a face within myself. So all of them are reflecting my inner vision and inner kingdom of what I internally need to look at, what I'm avoiding, what I've been fooled by, who's fooling me, all of these different questions of the aspects which these are guiding me. And it's like, it feels to me like there's a familiarity with the Bears Dreaming Lodge with these faces, because it's all looking with my inner introspection eyes of who I am, what parts of my dreams have I forgotten to dream, what realms am I creating in which are creating false habit patterns within me, which lead me into lack, which lead me into desperation, which lead me into sadness. So for me, it's all about the inner vision these are showing me. And it's like you use that sacred walk to go and sit down in the sacred grove or the sacred trees, whatever you want to call it. And you're there with the inner vision of them saying it's looking within, even though you're looking at them and trying to figure out what they are. It's pointing in there. That is, yeah. And I definitely think we're going to all have to come and visit you and take that walk and go through. And when you've got a sweat lodge connected near that would be definitely something, because I'm down south. We're down England now, so I'm probably closer than I was at the top. So when I was in the north, when I was up in the north, so I'm down south now. So we'd love to come over and experience that. And this is why I've had you on so many times, Hayley, because there's an inner genius within you, which is like this. It's like a poet. As you speak, you sound like a poet. And as you explain shamanism, there's this poetic frequency coming through you. It's like everything's a song, a poem. And obviously we definitely want to come and experience this and have some fun as well.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank you for your kind words, Dale. Yeah, it's gone in. Thank you.
Thank you, sister.
And I would love that. Please all come to a lodge. There's a shamanic dance combined with sweat lodge mixed in December. If you could all make that'd be awesome. And it is right, it's walking distance from here, so yeah. Yes. You could go and visit that too.
I think we must do that.
Yeah. Well, I'll send you, I think maybe, I'll send you whatever, just let me know.
We're booked. We're in.
We're in.
I just want to say the title of what you just said, Dale, is Tell Me Who You Are. So that reflection, and and it's going to be in the recording. So so tell me who you are. Who are you? But it's about that deeper. How far do we go with who we really are?
Wow.
So you kind of and it is relating to the 4 directions. There's so many layers to it. So all that you've said is like, you're seeing it, and that's really heartwarming.
It's all that journey to unraveling the authentic self,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Finding the lodge within the self. And that's, yeah, wow, what a show. I love these shows.
Yeah.
So there's
what's beautiful as well is the integrity behind you, Hayley, in how you set that up with the land and asking the land's permission, and oh, they're gorgeous, and that sacred space, because it's all in communion and union, and I could just feel so much of your essence all as it leads through the gate and in and around, and then that then opens up even more space for people to really look at themselves and see what there is to see.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, thank you, and absolutely. I had a woman who was just a walker. I mean, it's quite well to do around here, and I was working on it. She went in. She literally went through the gate with her 2 little kids, and she just said, "Oh," she said, "I'm feeling quite emotional," and I was just like, she didn't know anything about it, so it was like, okay, go to the end, So, yeah. Thank you, Sam.
So we've got just 3 minutes left of the show. Does anybody want to give anything, any thoughts, any last words?
Yeah, no, just been an absolutely great show and a pleasure being on with everybody here. And it always gives more questions, doesn't it? Because there's always another layer. And, how does the Dreaming Lodge fit with the presence of now, Dale? That was a question.
No question. Yeah, okay. So the Dreaming Lodge sits with the presence of now as an ambience teacher for present training of being embodiment with movement within the self, going within the self realm to be able to access the great dream weave and start retrieving all of these soul particles which have been lost in the past through ignorance, awareness, trauma, darkness. And it's all unraveling the selves and the codes of the now, the codes of the presence of the rainbow, the codes of the universal suns, the code of the creator, code of the presence of the great mystery unfolding within us, and knowing in every single now moment we cannot solve great mystery. And this is the beauty of the great mystery, because it's unraveling to us the unknown. And once the unknown becomes known, we can accept the unknown in the now. And the Dreaming Lodge of the now allows us to access these many different values and valleys and mountains we create within ourselves. So we all come back to the sacred fire of the now as ancestors, as beings of this I am awareness, say, in this now space, in this bubble of reality, in this era of light, non-light, darkness, whatever you perceive it as is your reality now. So the Bear Dreaming Lodge connects to this essence, and those 4 faces come to you now to allow you to explore the inner memory and inner mastery of the forgotten selves, so they become remembered again, remembered with so much passion and wisdom and love that all the darkness which created within ourselves and our life disappear into flourish of the rainbow, and the rose comes and flourishes and blooms, and the thorns of the side as we feel the thorn of life. Essence is here, the time is now. And that's what I'm perceiving from what you just asked me, Laura. That's what was coming out.
Wow.
Wow.
That was amazing.
That's so beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
So that was from the Bear Dreaming Lodge.
Yeah,
there you go.
You were
That is
definitely
beautiful.
there,
That was very special.
I also got the feeling to bring up too is, don't be the sacred fool and thinking you're being overwhelmed with looking at yourself and doing the internal work. Just when you're in present, you're in no time. So there is no time that you feel like you've got this rush energy or slow energy, however long each element that you want to look at. Just take your time with it. Don't be the sacred fool and try to do multiple parts all at the same time, because you're just setting yourself up for failure. Just be loving and kind to yourself by looking at the one thing in each time. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. Just allow that space for yourself to do that.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah,
there is no time like the present. That's what you said there. It's brilliant. Yeah.
And so before we go as well, so Hayley, do you want to let everyone know I've put all the pictures up, the mentoring you're offering? What do you want to talk a little bit about the mentoring before we say goodbye?
Yeah, just I mean, it's open to anyone on a spiritual path. Of course, my pathway is shamanism. If you don't have if you're not connected with that, then that's fine. We can begin with teaching you how to do. I will teach you how to do journey, but it's really supporting you, holding your hand, being a witness, and also we would meet monthly on remotely or in person if you're local. And this is just a beginning suggestion. However regular after that is entirely up to us. And in between that, there'll be tasks to do. There'll be communication through me, through WhatsApp, and sharing. And it is one of my other passions, is to support people and to kind of be that kind of holding hand. And definitely it's about sovereignty and assisting and be your unique self, embrace your sovereign heart, etc. So that's really brief. So if anybody is inspired by that and wants to know more, then just email me, and I'll send information over and we can go from there. But it's a great thing that I love doing. So
outstanding. And so the website is going to be in the description, and it's been playing all throughout the show at the bottom there. So as well, you have artwork as well available. And is there any other upcoming events you want to share as well, Hayley?
There's as you know, I'm doing sweat lodges. So there's a women's lodge in October. I can't remember, 5th I think, and another women's one in November. And as I've mentioned already, there's a mixed men and women combined with the shamanic dance and a sweat lodge, and that's a very beautiful, powerful combination. And that's on the 21st of December, so that's the solstice one. So that's this year. And I'm also doing something on the Sunday, I think it's the 6th of October, and that's with a group of us. And that's going to be, I'm doing a shamanic dance, and there's yoga and cacao ceremony, I think, and it'd be very nourishing and nurturing that. So that's in Oxford, around Oxford somewhere. And just to finish on it, like next year, I think I've mentioned on previous groups, on a previous chat still, that I do ceremonial burials. I'm not going to go into the details of it at all, but I will be planning to do one in my next one in April. So if anyone thinks their ears are pricking up or their heart's racing like 100 miles an hour, but has
I don't want to die. I don't want...
Yeah.
Pick me.
I actually thought. And I'll send you some blurb. And,
wow. Yeah. So we will. I think we're in for the solstice.
Amazing.
Yes.
That sounds what a great way, because I'll be going up north to see my children, but I could go after that and I could set off from there. And what a way to go and then go to Christmas. The best way. Purify yourself.
Oh, that would be so
amazing.
Let's
do it.
Let's do it. We're doing it.
I'll be there.
So I'm just going to go around as well. So Sam, do you want to any last words for you? And do you want to talk a little bit about what you're doing with your artwork and what you're creating at the moment, just before we say
Well, I'm starting to create a website at the moment. It's not ready yet.
Yes.
So yeah, with my artwork with Spirit, as working together through the messages. So that's not ready yet. But thanks for holding space for me to say that.
There we go. It's coming and you'll be able to see it. So really impressed, and great work, Sam. Bob, any last words for you or any frequencies coming up for you?
Just brilliant show. Thank you. Hayley, really enjoyed that. Love the sacred site, just the faces and that, like you said, different layers to it. And yes, so I'm looking forward to doing the Sweat Lodge, and we'll definitely do that, Dale. And anything else that's coming up next year, we'll get involved with it. So I've really enjoyed the show. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Laura?
Well, just a shout out for Sam and Bob, because they both hold space to be incredible healers. So Sam, particularly through our artwork, although many other ways, but like Hayley, you know, your artwork is an absolutely beautiful expression of who you are and all the potentials. And Sam works with a lot with textures, don't you, and embossing, and they absolutely, you know, they jump out from the page. Incredible stuff. And we call Bob Frequency Bob because he is superbly able to read frequencies and auras and wonderful stuff like that. A real top class energy healer, if you want to use those words. But yeah. He is outstanding. And today's show has been amazing. It's lovely, like I say, when we have these soul family reunions, because what we create is like, it's bigger than the sum of our parts. You know what I mean? Yeah. So all 5 of us coming together is just like, it's enormous for me, the ripples that it creates out of consciousness and what it needs to help the world heal. So this has been amazing. You can contact me at Laura2Feathers with the number 2 at gmail.com, or my website is twofeathersmedicine.com. I always love to give tools to help you in your self-empowerment, self-mastery journeys. Or I'm an ancestral medium, so you can we'll take you to your ancestral fire. Lovely. Thank you, Dale. Great show. Thank you. Everybody.
And if anybody would like a session with myself, I'm offering the Dreaming Lodge Soul Surgery at the moment. So it will be a process of soul surgery, psychic surgery, soul retrieval, but also I'll be going within the Bear Lodge, taking you there, and I'll be able to understand what is blocking you within yourself. So if you'd like to visit the Bear Lodge with me and come and have some fun in the lodge, head over to also, just something to add here, like we can see us all as bears, and as we're doing this conversation, it's like we're passing ladles of soup around to each other, which we've put prayer in, and I'm sharing the soup with you, you're tasting the soup, you're tasting that soup, and it just feels, yes. And with all what Hayley was creating with those faces, it's kind of like the Kabbalah has been formed. I can see within everything, within what's going on. And I just want to say again, thank you, Hayley. Every show, it's an honor, and we'll continue to have you on as a guest. Bob, Sam, Laura, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And thank you, everyone listening out there. And if you're listening you will be listening in the future, drop a like, drop a subscribe, visit the websites, see what you can do in the present moment and now to change within yourself. So thank you, guys. Aho and goodbye.
Thank you.
Aho, thank you.